Hi guys, it's Kara. So today the video is going to be a little bit different. There's a YouTuber named Michelle, Underground BJD on YouTube, and I'll put a link to her channel down there. But she started a new group for beginners, and her plan is to have a group of moderators that kind of creates videos for beginners and new stuff like that. And I'm pretty new to the hobby, but my first doll actually ended up being a hybrid. So today I'm going to talk about hybrids, and I'm going to call this video Hybrid Considerations. So things to think about. And with hybrids, like with a lot of other things in the hobby, there's no steadfast rules. They can always be broken, you can always do things to make it work. But these are just some things to think about while you're planning a hybrid doll. So first of all, what is a hybrid? So a hybrid is a doll that has parts from more than one doll company. So for example, Olive here, her head comes from doll family A, and her body comes from Long Soul. So I got really lucky with her because it fits really well and the color matches, and you really can't tell the difference with the color. So I got really lucky with her. But so I'm just going to talk about a few of the different things that are important when looking for a hybrid. So, and these are kind of order of importance. So we have proportion, neck fit, and resin match. So the way I kind of rank them is, if it's messed up, how easy is it to fix? So those are kind of order of how it is. So when I say proportion, and please excuse my terrible drawings because I kind of just did like a diagram style to show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is an example of some proportions, and you can see this girl right here. Her body is kind of an immature style, and so the big head actually looks okay. It's more cutesy, it's childlike, and it works. And same for this one. This is a more mature style body, and so the smaller head works for her. You also see some mature bodies that have larger heads, but this is also kind of like trendy right now, where it's a mature body with a small head. But then this girl over here, see, she has kind of a mature body, but her head is looking a little like an alien. It's oversized for the body and maybe a little too childlike, and it just doesn't look right. But proportion is one of those things that it's your personal preference. It's what you like, it's what you're planning for the character, and but it's also the hardest thing to change. So just making sure that the head, the size, and the style kind of match and fit and look good together. So for Olive, she has kind of a childish face, and compared to a lot of MSDs, her head is large. But I think it works for kind of who her character is, and also like her immature body and things like that. So for her it works. She did have a large chest before, and it really, for me, kind of threw it off. But overall, like, her hips balance out her head, and her shoulders are a little bit wider, so I think it fits really nicely. But you might try it out and realize you just don't like how it fits. So if you can, try to find someone in the community that can try that combination and see if it works, if you like the proportion. There's a lot of really helpful people in the community and Facebook groups or Den of Angels and things like that that have a lot of dolls that can try a combo for you. So if you're thinking about it, that might be a good option, is to try to get somebody to take some photos for you to see if it's something you like. So number 2, we have neck fit. So when I say neck fit, I'm talking about how the neck itself fits into the hole in the head. So in this diagram, you can see the The neck here, the neck itself, the stem that goes into the top is too big, and so the ball is actually resting outside of the socket that the doll's head would go, that the neck goes into. So you can fix this with modding, but what you would need to do is sand down the resin on the neck in order to make it fit inside, or make the socket bigger. So you can also make this socket bigger that the neck fits into. And then in the second example here, the neck is actually too small for the hole. Can you see that? So you're getting some gapping on either side. And it's aesthetically not that pretty. And it can also have some issues with posing because the head has nothing to grip onto. But this can be fixed with sueding. If it's not really that severe, you can add hot glue. I'm sure somebody else will do a video on sueding later to fill in that hole. Or you can add a silicone kip, so like a little disc that would sit inside and give you a buffer. Or they also sell resin donuts that do kind of the same thing. They rest in there and fill in that gap that you have. So you have options with the small neck, even if it doesn't look that pretty. And then here I just showed an example of, you know, like what you want it to look like, the ideal scenario. And a lot of companies will actually publish their neck sizes, so you can figure out if it's a 7 centimeter neck or a 10 centimeter neck or a 6 centimeter neck. So you kind of know what you're getting into and if you're going to need to do any modding or if it's just going to kind of work outside the box. So for Olive again, she has a 7 centimeter neck, and same with the head. So the body and the head both have the same neck measurement. So I was able to just put her together and I didn't have to do any modding or anything like that. And last is the resin match. So the resin match is like the color of the resin for the doll. And again with Olive, I got really lucky because the resin, and it's a white skin resin, which tends to be easier to match. So if you're really worried about the resin match, go with the white skin, unless you don't like that look, and then, you know, kind of, you know, you can make it work. But basically, the resin color can vary depending on the age of the doll. So if you're looking at secondhand dolls, you get yellowing and changes to the resin over time. So the color can change depending on the age of the doll. And also, even within the same company, there can be variations. And you can read that sometimes on company websites. It will say, our resin batches can vary slightly in color from batch to batch, so we can't guarantee a resin match. So even if you buy from the same company, if you don't buy it at the same time, like they're making you a complete doll, there can be slight variations in the color even within a company. But resin match, hey, my kitty's here. Resin match is the easiest one to fix because you can do blushing. So I keep going back to Olive because it's easier to illustrate with a doll. So I added some pink blushing to Olive's face. And you can basically do that with a head or a body as well. So if your body is too light for the head, you can add blushing to the neck and the chest and the arms to make it blend a little bit better. But it's easier if the head is lighter because it's easier to match a small area and fill a small area to match than it is to do the whole body. So if you're looking at different resins and trying to find a match, and you know you can't find a perfect match, if you go lighter on the head, it's easier. So that was my little video on hybrids and the different types different considerations. Let me know what you thought of this video and how I can improve for next time. My cat wants to be in the video. It's kind of really cute. Until next time, talk to you guys later. Bye.